everyone. Welcome to Homestyling with Wendy. I'm back again. In today's video, we're going to Target and I'm going to show you some of the Hearth and Hand line that Joanna Gaines has put out. Some of it will be older items and some of it will be newer items because it depends on the Target that you go to. I do have some items that are from her new Spring 2022 collection, and as usual Joanna does a really great job and I enjoyed looking at everything, and of course I did buy a couple of items for my home. So sit back and enjoy. Don't forget, click on like and subscribe and you'll see more of my videos. So here we go to Target to look at Hearth and Hand. Hope you enjoyed that trip to Target and looking at what Joanna Gaines has to offer for your home styling and decorating. I do have some things around my home that I have used and decorated with from the Hearth Hand Collection, and I'm going to show them to you right now. Enjoy. Time to show you what I've styled and how I have styled the Hearth and Hand pieces I've bought in my own home. Here's the Magnolia Table book that I purchased quite a while ago. A very pretty book, and it's very enjoyable looking through the book. I'm not much of a cook, I confess, but there are some really nice recipes in her cookbooks. I also purchased her other cookbook, Magnolia Table, and I love the pictures in this book. Actually, most of the time I keep it open to one of the pictures because they're so colorful and the food looks so good. And I've also purchased the cookbook holder you'll notice here. I take the book off, and that is the holder. Very pretty wood cookbook stand, and it is very practical. It does help when you're cooking and you need to prop your cookbooks up. A third book I purchased from the Joanna Gaines collection is called Homebody, and another really very nice book. The pictures are great, and I have gotten a lot of ideas and inspiration from this book on how to decorate in a more rustic, earthy way in my home. You'll also notice how I have used it in a vignette, and let me back up so you can see my vignette. I put my beautiful horse on top, and I have a rather modern piece on the side, and it all works together very nicely. Here's something very simple. I love her soaps. This one is salt, and it just has a really nice fragrance to it, and I put it by my kitchen sink, and it has such a pretty container and label on it. Whenever I need soaps, I go right to Hearth and Hand section. I purchased this platter quite a while ago, and this is a Hearth and Hand platter. Just so pretty. I've set it on a side table in my TV room, put 2 or 3 tall candles, nice neutral colors in it, and it's perfect. In this vignette, I have a Hearth Hand lamp, which I just love. And actually the table is also a Hearth Hand purchase. And on the bottom, you'll notice the utensil carrier I have actually used for other things in my TV room, like remotes and anything else we need for this area of the house. I love to combine the Hearth Hand pillows with the Shea McGee pillows. And this I have done in our spare bedroom, which used to be my daughter's bedroom. And the lumbar pillow is the Hearth Hand pillow. Nice and big and long. Just love the way it looks. Most of my Hearth Hand decor is on my dining room table. I think every piece on this table is from the Hearth Hand Collection. Let's start with the plates, and we have the dinner plates and the dessert plates, or you could use those for appetizers. And then we have the bowls, and to go with this we have the napkins with that grayish black stripe that goes through it. As we come down here, we have our candle holders, and these candles, nice and tall, beautiful color. They are a Hearth Hand purchase. My lanterns as well. Love them. I love the black detail in them. And then we'll slide over here, and we have her neutral white vase. This is the smaller one I purchased. And coming down, we have more candles. I love filling my dining room table when we're not using it. And of course, you'll notice the Christmas tree is still up in the background. That will come down at the end of February. I'm never in a rush. And here is the larger vessel that I purchased that matches the smaller vessel. Just love it. I filled it with some greenery, simple berries, and I think it looks great. And here at the end, I have another lantern, and I just placed one of those battery operated candles inside. I don't like the real candles. I like the way they look, but they scare me a little bit when they're lit and left in the house. And on the end of the table, we have another candle holder and the beautiful candle, which is by the Hearth Hand Collection. Panning over here, again, we have the place settings. Just a very nice gray color. Beautiful. And that is my dining room table full of Hearth Hand accessories. My Hearth Hand lanterns, I just love them. I turn the lights on at night in the lanterns, and it just gives a great look to the living room upstairs. Beautiful pieces. And of course, I bought the largest ones they had because you always go big with your accessories. This is a Hearth Hand print, which I actually purchased at a liquidation store that just opened in my area. And the price was so great. It was only $10 a picture, and because I bought so many pictures, he actually gave me a discount. Here are my soaps that I buy from Hearth Hand. I believe this one is, oh, it's getting empty. Time to go back to Target. I believe this one is salt as well. I really like that fragrance. And if you're looking for nice air fresheners, we have the Casaluna air fresheners. They're a little pricey, but they smell very nice. And Hearth Hand also carries the air fresheners, and I buy those as well. And this is just a little vignette in my bathroom area. Nothing too big or overwhelming. You'll remember this hunter green pitcher, which was very popular last season. I decided to put it in one of the few display cases that I have. And on top of it, I did put links in, which were not Hearth and Hand. You'll notice that in my house, I combine a lot of different styles and a lot of different designers. I found the Hearth and Hand air freshener that I had up on the shelf in my bathroom. This is it. And this is the, I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's something spice, and it's a room spray, and it just has a very lovely scent to it. Those were some ideas of inspiration that you might want to use in your home when you're decorating. I really like Joanna Gaines. I think a lot of people associate her with farmhouse, and she has come a long way since her farmhouse days. Yes, she still has those items and they're pretty rustic, but she also has other things, other items, other accessories that would go so well in your home. If you notice, I am surrounded by Hearth and Hand, and I'll just point them out to you. Here is her beautiful ladder that you can put your throws on. Just looks very nice and soft and cozy for the winter. Here is her white vase. This is the larger one, and I do use this on my dining room table. And all you have to do is put a couple of simple berries, maybe a little greenery, and it looks great. Over here is one of her cookbooks. Very nice looking. You could just put it out in your kitchen on her stand and make it look like you cook, because I don't cook and I make it look like I cook. Over here is her black lantern. This is one of her older pieces, and I have put a battery operated candle in it. Looks beautiful anywhere you put it in the house. And of course, I love her candlesticks. What a nice color, so different. And her candle holders with that little bit of black in it. And behind all of this is my dog Kobe. I don't know if you can see him, but he does like getting into the videos. So that ends our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click like and subscribe. And like I said last time, I will be going to many different stores this season. I believe my next store is at home, and that was a trip. A huge store. I might have to do 2 videos on that store. And maybe after that it's Kirkland's, because I just found out there is a Kirkland's located not far from my house. So if I can talk my husband into taking me over there, I'll be there. And I'll let you know as each video goes along. So have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Stay happy and stay healthy.